Hello, and welcome to Japan Lyric Room. In this program, we savor the lyrics of Japanese songs, clearly explaining the meaning behind the phrases and the unique cultural backgrounds inherent to Japan. And I'm really thrilled to be your guide today.
It is a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to unpacking today's selection because it's just a perfect example of how modern pop music can revitalize very traditional Japanese sentiments.
Absolutely. So today we are looking at the song Muchu by the group BEFIRST. Now, usually when we hear BEFIRST, we think high energy performance, sharp choreography, maybe some really heavy beats. But this track feels totally different. It feels really warm.
It is incredibly warm. It's a pure love song produced by Isle and Rio Lefty Miyata.
Yeah.
Musically, you have this really fascinating blend of gospel and R&B elements, with the 7 members providing this thick, supportive chorus work. But the reason it feels so specific is the context. We really have to start there.
Right, the background of the song.
Exactly. This song was written specifically as the theme song for the 2025 drama Nami Uraraka ni Meoto Biyori,
Which translates roughly to waves calm, a couple's ideal weather. And this isn't your standard modern-day rom-com, is it?
No, not at all. It is a period piece. The drama takes place in Showa 11, which is 1936.
1936. So we are talking pre-war Japan. Very, very different social norms.
Drastically different. The drama depicts what we call a zero-day dating marriage.
Zero-day dating. That phrase just stops me in my tracks every time. For you listening who might not know, can you explain what that reality actually looked like back then?
Yeah, so in that era, arranged marriages, or omiai, were the absolute standard. Often, the couple would meet briefly, perhaps once or twice with their families present, and then the very next major event was the wedding. There was no dating phase, no moving in together to test the waters. You married a relative stranger, and then you just went home to start your life.
That sounds absolutely terrifying. I mean, today we spend months or even years getting to know someone just to decide if we want to share a streaming account, let alone a whole life. The stakes in 1936 must have been incredibly high.
They really were. But that is the actual engine of this song. It isn't about the thrill of the chase. It's about the tension of the start. It depicts the sweet, clumsy, and often very anxious beginning of a life together between two people who are committed to making it work, even though they don't even know each other's favorite color yet.
I love that framing. It kind of turns the whole romance genre on its head. Instead of the classic will they, won't they, it's more like, well, they are together, now what?
Exactly. And the lyrics of Muchu map that exact journey. It tracked the male protagonist, who is very typical of that Showa era. He's clumsy and bad with words, trying to navigate this massive soul-level love he's developing for his new life.
So our mission today is to walk through 7 specific phrases from the song. We want to see how this modern boy band articulates that vintage 1936 style of love. Let's just jump right into phrase 1.
Let's do it. This first phrase really establishes the character's internal conflict.
Right, it really sets the scene. We aren't dealing with a smooth operator here.
Far from it. Here's the cultural nuance of the first phrase. Beneath my unreliable responses and clumsy attitude, my heart is shouting, I love you, while being tightened by poignancy.
Unreliable responses. I feel like I've definitely been there. You want to say something charming and what comes out is just a grunt or a weird nod?
Precisely. The lyrics are referring to aizuchi. In Japanese conversation, aizuchi are those essential listener responses, the ahas, the yeses, that keep a conversation flowing. If your aizuchi are unreliable, it means you are failing at the very basic rhythm of conversation. You're just awkward.
So he's sitting there with his new wife, probably terrified of saying the wrong thing, so he's saying nothing at all, or just saying the wrong thing entirely. But the lyrics say his heart is doing something very different.
Yes, and this is where we find a really beautiful Japanese insight. The text uses the word naku.
Naku means to cry, right? Like physically shedding tears.
In a standard dictionary, yes. But in the context of Japanese lyricism, and specifically right here, naku is not always about physical tears. It refers to a state where the heart is violently shaken. It's when earnest thoughts are overflowing so intensely that your soul is vibrating.
That is such a vivid image. It's almost mechanical. Like the pressure inside is so high that the internal machinery is screaming, even if the face is totally stoic.
And that stoicism is key to the 1936 setting. The ideal Showa man wasn't supposed to be an emotional fountain. He was supposed to be strong and silent. So you have this massive gap, the clumsy, silent exterior, and the interior where the heart is shouting, I love you, so loud it physically hurts.
It totally redefines clumsiness. He's not awkward because he doesn't care. He's awkward because he cares way too much. The feelings are just too big for his vocabulary.
Exactly. And that pressure doesn't just sit there, it builds. Which leads us directly to phrase 2, where the song uses a very kinetic metaphor to describe that rising tension.
The roller coaster.
Yes. Here is the cultural nuance for the second phrase. My feelings of love are piling up, and it's as if my emotions are racing up and down like a roller coaster.
Okay, feelings piling up. In English, that sounds a bit like laundry piling up in the corner of a room. It's a bit static. But I understand the Japanese word here, tsunoru, has a totally different flavor.
It does. Tsunoru implies an escalation. It describes feelings that are getting stronger, fiercer, and accumulating over time. Think of a snowstorm where the drifts get deeper by the hour, or a fever that rises in the night. It's an active, intensifying force.
So every single day he spends in this zero-day marriage, the love is tsunoru. It's getting heavier and harder to ignore. And then BEFIRST throws that heaviness onto a roller coaster.
It's a brilliant contrast. You have the sheer weight of tsunoru and the chaotic speed of the roller coaster. It perfectly captures the volatility of unexpressed love. You have the elation of, oh, she smiled at me, and the crushing anxiety of, does she think I'm boring? It's up and down, racing completely uncontrollably.
And when you're on a roller coaster, you really can't steer. You're just along for the ride.
That is the critical point. You are strapped in, and gravity takes over. The cultural insight here is that because the emotion is racing so fast, the singer is essentially praying. He's thinking, I can't control this, I just hope this energy somehow reaches you.
It's a surrender. He's realizing that he can't logic his way through this marriage. He just has to ride the feeling.
Which is pretty terrifying when you barely know the person sitting next to you.
True. Now, we've had the internal screaming of phrase 1 and the chaotic roller coaster of phrase 2. Phrase 3 feels like the sun finally coming out after a storm. This brings us to the drama's title and a very specific season.
This is one of the most beautiful parts of the song. Here's the cultural nuance. With a heart as calm as soft spring light, I want to deliver the continuation of the thoughts I've been unable to say.
Soft spring light. It sounds so much more relaxing compared to a roller coaster.
The Japanese word here is Uraraka.
And that's in the drama title, right? Nami Uraraka.
Correct. And to fully understand why this word matters, we need to talk about kigo.
Kigo. I've actually heard this term in relation to haiku poetry.
Yes. Kigo translates to seasonal word. In traditional Japanese poetry, you use a kigo to anchor the poem in a specific time and feeling. Uraraka is a classic spring kigo.
So it's not just describing the literal weather outside.
No, it invokes an entire atmosphere. Uraraka describes bright, mild spring sunlight, the kind that is soft, hazy, and warm. It's the feeling of the world waking up gently from a long winter.
And how does that weather report affect the love story going on here?
It changes everything. Think of the wonder of his silence in phrase 1. He was frozen. Uraraka represents the thaw. Just as the spring sun melts the cold snow, this gentle atmosphere melts his tense heart.
So the external warmth is what allows him to open up internally.
Exactly. The lyrics say he wants to deliver the continuation of thoughts. That implies he tried to say something before, got scared, and stopped. But in this Uraraka light, he finally feels safe enough to finish the sentence.
That is such a delicate transition. It's not some grand gesture with fireworks. It's just the air getting warmer and him finally finding his voice.
It bridges the gap between his clumsy interior and the person he desperately wants to reach.
Speaking of being completely consumed by thoughts of the other person, phrase 4 takes us to the title of the song itself, and it involves a little bit of math.
A little bit, yes. Here is the cultural nuance reading for this part. I'm thinking only of you. 24 hours a day. You never leave my mind for even a second.
We use tuna 47 all the time in English, but the Japanese idiom used here is Shirokujichu.
Shirokujichu. And if you look at the kanji characters, it literally translates to 4 times 6 during.
And 4 times 6 is 24.
Exactly. It's an elegant, almost scholarly way of saying all day long or around the clock. But BEFIRST combines this time phrase with the song title, Muchu.
Let's unpack Muchu for a second. We usually translate it into English as obsessed or crazy about.
We do, but those words can feel a bit aggressive. The characters for Muchu literally mean inside a dream or within a fog. It means you are so absorbed in something that it is as if you were walking through a dream.
Oh, that is much softer. Obsessed sounds like you're stalking someone. Inside a dream sounds like you're just in a really peaceful trance.
Precisely. So when you combine Shirokujichu 2147 and Muchu being in a dream,
it means his reality has completely collapsed into his love for her. He's walking around, doing his job, maybe reading the newspaper, but mentally, he is sleepwalking because his mind is entirely occupied by her.
It shows the sheer density of the love. For a couple that started with 0 days of dating, this is the moment where the commitment becomes truly emotional, not just legal. He is fully immersed.
But you can't live in a dream forever, right? You have to pay bills, you have to cook rice, scrub the floors. Phrase 5 brings us back down to earth to the actual domestic routine.
And this might be the most culturally significant phrase for understanding Japanese family life. Here's the nuance. Within the casual exchange of, "I'm home and welcome back," happiness overflows and resonates between us.
I'm home and welcome back. That's Tadaima and Okairi.
These are not just casual greetings. They are vital rituals.
Explain that for us a bit more. Why do those specific phrases carry so much weight?
In Japanese culture, the boundary between Soto, the outside world, and Uchi, the inside or the home, is very distinct. The outside world is a place of heavy obligation, work, and social pressure. When you step into the entryway, the genkan, and say, "Tadaima, I'm home," you are declaring that you have safely returned to your sanctuary.
And Okairi.
Okairi is the validation of that return. It means, I acknowledge you are back where you belong. It confirms the home is actually a home.
The lyrics mention happiness bouncing back here, right?
Yes. The word is hanakeshi. It implies reflection or echoing. The metaphor is that happiness isn't a simple transaction where I hand it to you. It's sound. I say Tadaima, you say Okairi, and the happiness echoes back and forth between us, filling up the empty space of the house.
That is really beautiful, especially for two absolute strangers learning to live together. They build their love not on fancy dates or big vacations, but on this daily echo in the hallway.
It strongly suggests that the routine itself is the source of their joy.
And if you do that routine enough times, if you say Tadaima and Okairi enough days in a row, something natural starts to grow. That leads us right to phrase 6.
This phrase is the true answer to the 0-day marriage dilemma. Here is the nuance. Not a dramatic beginning, but a love that was blooming quietly, yet certainly right by my side before I knew it.
Not a dramatic beginning. That has to be the understatement of the century for them.
Indeed. The key Japanese word here is katawara.
Katawara. It means by the side or neighboring, doesn't it?
Yes. It implies a closeness that isn't necessarily face-to-face, but side by side. The lyrics compare the love to a flower blooming right there.
I really like the contrast with dramatic beginning. In pop culture, we usually think of romance as fireworks. Explosive, bright, looking up at the sky.
But fireworks burn out quickly and just leave smoke. This love is a flower at their feet. It suggests that while they were busy stressing about their unreliable responses and all the awkwardness, love was actually growing in the background, fueled by that shared time.
It just grew without them even noticing.
Exactly. Before I knew it. It implies that love isn't something you always consciously decide to do. It's something that happens to you when you just keep showing up for someone every single day.
That is such a comforting thought for anyone. It makes the relationship feel sturdy. It has real roots.
And because it has roots, the character can finally evolve. We reach the climax of the song in phrase 7.
This feels like the biggest shift in the lyrics.
It really is. Here's the cultural nuance. Together with your tears, I will come to wipe away the anxious prayers that seem about to overflow.
The tone here is so fundamentally different from the beginning of the track.
The key verb to focus on is nugu.
Nugu. It means to wipe.
Physically, yes, like wiping a table. But in Japanese emotional context, nugu implies erasure. You don't just wipe a surface, you wipe away the source of the stain. He isn't just handing her a physical tissue, he is saying, I will wipe away the anxiety and the doubt that is making you cry in the first place.
Think about where we started this journey. In phrase 1, he was the one crying internally. In phrase 2, he was the anxious one praying on that crazy roller coaster.
Exactly. Now he is the one answering her prayers. This is the emotional core of the song. He has realized that this 0-day marriage is just as scary for her too. So he steps up. He stops being the clumsy boy trapped in his own head and becomes the protective partner. He resolves to prevent her from ever crying alone again.
That really is the definition of a true partnership. It's not about being perfect from day one. It's about being the person who wipes away the other person's worry.
It is a complete, beautiful emotional arc contained in just 3 minutes of music.
So when we look at this whole song, from the clumsy Aizuchi to the protective Nugu, what is the big takeaway for you as you listen?
What stands out to me the most is how the song seamlessly validates two seemingly contradictory things about love.
Which are?
On one hand, you have the quiet daily life, the Uraraka spring light, the Tadaima greetings, the flower blooming by the side. It celebrates the boring, stable, everyday parts of marriage.
But on the other hand,
You have the burning passion, the Muchu obsession, the roller coaster of anxiety, the soul crying out. Be first is saying that these two things absolutely can and do coexist. You could be washing the dishes and living a very quiet life, while internally your love is burning with the intensity of a teenage crush.
I think that's exactly why the song works so well for a drama set in 1936, but is sung by a totally modern boy band.
Yes, the era's changed. We obviously don't do zero-day marriages much anymore. We have smartphones and dating apps, but that core feeling, the feeling of being clumsy, of hoping your feelings reach the other person, of finding absolute peace in a simple welcome back, that is timeless.
It validates that you don't have to be a smooth talker to have a deeply profound love. You can be awkward, you can be stuck on an emotional roller coaster, and you can still build something that lasts a lifetime. Which brings me to a thought I want to leave you, our listener, with today. As you go about your week, think about your own daily rituals. What are the simple things, like saying I'm home, that act as an anchor for the intense emotions in your life? Do you have your own Uraraka moments that help thaw out the stress of the world? It's something to mull over.
That is a wonderful thought to carry forward.
Well, that brings us to the end of our lyric analysis for today. Thank you very much for listening again this time.
We truly appreciate you joining us to explore these concepts.
We have only scratched the surface here. We update our website with detailed explanations of the songs we pick up. So if you want to savor the lyrics more deeply, please check the website via the link in the description.
There are some fantastic notes there on the kanji we discussed today, like Kigo and Muchu. And if you like this program, please follow or subscribe to the channel.
Please leave comments with your impressions or requests for songs you'd like us to cover next.
We really do read them, and hearing your perspective helps us learn too.
Absolutely. See you next time. This was Japan Lyric Room.